Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day, it's another dollar, and it's another low down dirt on Love After Lockup. My loves, first on the docket is Brooke and JK. All right, JK got his curfew extended 3 hours, and he wanted to go see his Meemaw. And he spent some time because he ain't seen his Meemaw in a hot minute. Mm-mm. And he said his Mima is not going to leave this earth without him seeing her because his grandpappy left the earth while he was in the pokey. So anyway, he takes some time and now it's 45 minutes. He has to get back home. And that doesn't settle well with Brooke. She says, what about my kids? The promise that you are going to see them. And I'm like, how stupid of Brooke to expect a man straight out of the pokey to meet some kids he's never met and to risk his freedom for that. Why don't she get on those boys' daddies like she's like who didn't show up for them? They have spent many days and moons not showing up for them. Why are you yelling at this man who's not even their father to come see these men's son? All right, I don't get it. All right, so then he flips out because they're in the car. He finally gets in the car because at one point she wasn't going to take him anywhere, and she's driving like a grandma. And he says, He snatched the keys, and they have a little tissy out there. And he says, I'm going to drive my own ass back to my mama's house. And then Mama Kathy comes home, and she sees all this, and she lays down the law. She said, don't talk to women any kind of way. And for sure, she tells this to Brooke, don't make my boy late for his curfew. You are all the way wrong for that. So in the meantime, um, Brooke wants to see what's on his phone, and JK is one step ahead of her because he's erased them all. And his stepdaddy was like, Brooke, uh, let's be clear. You are the first one he gets out of prison. There are going to be many more. This man has dated more women than I have dated in my whole life while he was in the pokey. All right, let's be clear. Don't have a baby by this dude. Now, next on the docket is Will and Courtney. Now, Courtney's engaged. She's wearing this $10,000 ring now, and this is their first night to get a little intimate before she has to go to the halfway house. So they have like a few hours before she goes there. And that means a short amount of time to get busy with the freaky stuff. And they finally did. And this is what Courtney says. She says, Will is an FREAK, and it was okay with her. And the production must have asked were there any toys used because she said they ain't have no time to open any boxes. I'm like, girl, wait till you see what he has in store for you. Moving on to first on the docket is Joey and Michael. Now, mind you, loves, this is 7 hours out of prison, 7 hours. And he's going back and forth, back and forth. Even though it's a couple of weeks for us on TV, this is 7 hours out of prison. And Michael is under the thinking that, hey, I'm going to do what I'm going to do before I get back to the pokey and not try to do all what I have to do to stay out of the pokey. So he feels like he's going to go right back to the slammer, and they must have asked him how it was, because they were trying to get freaky. At least Joey was. He tossed out his his little shorts in the hot tub, and I'm like, ew, that's a public hot tub. Everybody gonna be watching you guys do your stuff. But anyway, Michael said he couldn't force anything. He's a top, and it just wouldn't work. He doesn't feel anything for Joey romantically, literally, and figuratively. He said Joey gave him dad vibes. Oh my gosh, he's not feeling a thing for him. And on the other hand, Joey had a whole different perspective on their lovemaking, which or lack thereof. He said yes, he would have enjoyed a little bit more, but he really liked the cuddling sessions. And Michael's like, this Klingon, I'm going to take his phone and he ain't going to be watching me. I'm going to take away this electronic leash and I'm going to be about my business. So in the meantime, Joey's looking all over the place with his phone. He can't find it. He gets back and here comes the phone. Michael has it. And the productions was like, well, do you think he took it on purpose or whatever? And Joey's flipping out because he's looking like a fool. And he's taking it out on the messenger and not on the person who did it. Now moving on. We're gonna have to watch that show. It's gonna fizzle out real quick because I'm thinking loves. Michael's not feeling this. He said he can't get it up for Joey. That's just like his dad. Moving on to Alexis and Julius. My loves. This is after the Ashley fiasco when he just kind of like broke it off with Ashley. Um, Ashley is like, at this point, feel like this is the most embarrassing thing she's ever done, and blah, blah, blah. And Julius tells us that he never told Ashley to tat her body with his name. He never did. So let's move that to the side. But in the meantime, Alexis is picking up some vibes that he may be doing some other stuff. In the meantime, he's going to stick with Alexis because she pays the cost to be the boss. And he supported him all the time while he was in the poker. In the meantime, she's on the couch bragging how he shot up the club and she has this power of discernment and cheating is a deal breaker for her and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, girl, you don't even know the half. We know he was dealing with Ashley, but he's dealing with other chicks too. And she's picking up that there's other women involved. And, she says like, she says, well, look, I'm picking up on something. Is there another woman involved? And he confesses. Okay. So, loves, we have another episode of A Woman in Tears due to Julius. So Alexis just wants a romantic relationship, and she's kind of halfway getting it or accepting whatever Julius is giving her while he's constantly on his phone. I highly doubt she has a power of discernment because he just doesn't seem checked in with her. He's only checked in because she's supporting him when his family, iced him out for 6 years. So anyway, he confesses that, yeah, he's been talking to another woman. And this leaves us with another episode of A Woman in Tears due to Julius. Now, moving on to Brooklyn and Brian. Now, loves, I have a lot to say. Now, Brian has been in the halfway house for 3 weeks. She hasn't seen him while he was there. Now she's kind of semi sort of getting over this woman on the back of his tablet. I thought it was a photograph, but actually it's some paper he done tore out of some woman on the internet. I mean, really, we're getting all worked out over that. Okay, so she's ready to finally get the D and the baby, even though, um, this dude really hasn't washed his musty ass from that halfway house. I'm just saying. So they just like two musties up in bed to me, seriously. And then we get to see Elena or Lonnie's, and she's a sweet and smart child. And I like the conversation she had with her bestie, but I got a problem. Okay, it looks all cute, but when you think about it, why is this grown ass man a bestie for this little girl that looked like she's about 7 or 8 years old? And why does this grown ass man feel so comfortable to be laying up on your child's bed, talking about my bestie? On his first day out in his first day meeting. This girl had never seen this man. I do know that Brooklyn and Brian met before he was in prison, but he was in prison for many years, at least maybe 5 years. This girl is only like 8, so she was probably 3 and didn't have really any recollection of a bestie. I mean, seriously. And here, Brooklyn come meeting him up in some kind of potato condom pit, like what to get up? You wearing this like beigey outfit to come pick him up, look like a big old potato, and then you let that man roll up in your child's bedroom and lay up and start talking about being besties. I mean, get out of here with that mess. Get out. It really is giving me groomer vibes. I mean, really, you're just mad, you're just glad that you got the man and just like, okay, okay, okay. And your job as a parent still should be on. And that is not okay. I don't care how cool you are or how cool they are. I'm glad they made a relationship. Oh, I'm glad they got along so well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, that is just my opinion. I'm just going to say, I don't think Brian is that way, but I'm like, women, we cannot be that loose with our kids. I'm sorry. You're already loose with your body. Don't be loose with your kids. Moving on. Bradley and Savannah. Now, Bradley does to me give some entitlement vibes. And Savannah does give control vibes. And they are just not meshing very well. And he's all spilling his guts out to his sisters and they're having it out. Um, always constantly fighting. And that's what her mother said. They don't belong together. They always fight. Even when he was in the pokey, they were fighting on the phone. So he takes off in her car, which happens to be not her car, but her mother's car. And because he's tired of her bashing his family. And I'm just saying, the ride that Bradley took down that country road was very beautiful. But he better turn back because the sister calls him. You better turn back before you wind up back in the pokey for a GTA, Grand Theft Auto. My loves, this was an interesting cast this season, and I look forward to seeing more, because they're just totally messy boots. And by the way, speaking of Bradley and Savannah, if you haven't known already, I'm about to drop some tea in 1, 2, 3. They're not together anymore. Bradley got him a little thicker chick, not too much thicker, but he had a problem with Savannah. But this girl is a little bit bigger than Savannah, so I don't understand. But anyway, he split from Savannah. So we do know that of all these couples, Brooke and JK are no longer, as well as Bradley and Savannah. And we already know that Ashley and Julius were never quite a couple, but in her mind they were. And I quite honestly thinking Joey and Michael aren't together either, but I don't care. In the meantime, in between time, what do you guys think, my love? Drop a line below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, like the video, show the love, and I'm going to catch you all out on the flip side. And in between time, take care of yourselves, my loves.